And you barely just want to be able to see your pencil mark from where you cut whenever you made that cut. All right, you don't want to take out your pencil mark. And if I measure that, just to check for accuracy, I should get 3 3/8, which is exactly what I got. All right, so I don't know if you can see that or not. We're right on 3 3/8. So that's where we want to be. So you want to cut, you want to start your blade before you cut, stay right beside of that line the whole time. You should end up, now this takes a little bit of practice. This is not a, more than likely you're going to pick up and be great at it the first time, but after a few cuts you should get pretty good at it. Do not set the saw on the ground before the blade has stopped turning. You will see a video where a guy takes one of these. He has a guard on the saw. The retractable lower guard gets stuck in place. He sets the saw on the ground. The blade is still turning. All right. The blade is still turning. The blade takes off on the ground and runs over his foot. And you'll see how that works out. But so wait till the blade has stopped turning before you set the saw. Make sure to have somebody support as a support system or to catch longer boards. If you have a 10-foot, 12-foot board, you want somebody to hold it on the table for you. You want to make sure you clamp it on the table. If you're cutting sheet material comes in a 4x8 piece. If you've never seen a sheet material, a sheet of plywood, they're fairly large. You want to have somebody supporting both ends of that, or at least one end of that, and you need a friend to help you cut those. All right, so you do not want to be cutting those unless you're experienced. You do not want to be cutting those by yourself. All right, so one of the things I was just asking students whenever I show this guy the cut is off track here. If you look at, you can see his line, you can see his cut's off track. Don't try to cut it back over. This guy, now a lot of people will do this. This is a good idea. What they will do is they will set their blade depth on this. They will put 2x4s under their sawbucks. Remember, I said don't cut between sawbucks. Well, he's got a sawbuck here. He's got a sawbuck over there. And to keep his wood from falling in the middle, he's got 2x4s. He sets his blade depth to where it will cut through the plywood, but not through the 2x4. The 2x4 will have a small cut in it whenever this guy gets done. It will have just a small cut line through it, but it's not cutting all the way through it. So the 2x4 is supporting the plywood. All right? So if you're cutting by yourself and you don't have somebody to help you catch, that's what you can do. Do not do this. All right? Sawbuck, wood, he's cutting between the sawbucks. So what he needs to do is slide that piece of wood down here, cut it off, and let this end fall on the floor. All right? But do not cut between sawbucks. I cannot stress that enough. Now, hold the guard up to start angled cuts. If you're making an angled cut, say you have to bevel something, and you switch this over to 45, all right? Sometimes, especially like if you're starting from a corner, this lower blade guard will get caught on the edge of the wood. So a lot of times what you'll have to do is you'll have to raise this guard up, all right, to get started so it doesn't get caught on the edge of the wood. One other thing, there's something called a drop cut, all right? Some people call them plunge cuts, I call them drop cuts. Let's say that I wanted to cut a square out of the table, right? And I don't want to make a cut line coming in from the side. What you can do, now you need to be decent using a saw to do this, is you can hold your saw like this, lift up your guard, start your saw, and drop it down into your piece of wood. 99 times out of 100, you're doing this on sheet material. So let's say that I've got a piece of OSB that I need to put over a window and I want to cut my piece out first, right? I want to cut my window out, raise that up, drop down, it'll drop into the piece of wood and then you can cut on your line, and you got to do that 4 times for the 4 sides of the window. Yet again, same deal with this saw. You will obviously watch this video. You will take your circular saw safety exam. You got to make 100 on it. I don't care how many times you take it, all right, but you just got to make 100 on it before you can use the circular saw in the shop. Once you do that, you will be assigned 3 circular saw cuts that are on the board, and you got to bring those to me one at a time to get checked. And this is just to check to see, number one, can you cut with the circular saw? Can you measure and mark correctly? And can you cut a straight line to the correct measurement? All right.